Texas Democrats, who are state representatives, flee to Washington, D.C. because, well, they're Democrats and this is what they do the best: abdicate their duties. So, Texas Republicans say enough and officially vote to arrest fleeing Democrats. I was skeptical on this because I heard this morning that Governor Greg Abbott was going to continue on doing special sessions of the Texas legislature, which he can. Usually the Texas legislature doesn't meet but like once, twice a year, something like that, sometimes even further out than that. It's not a permanent job for them. Too bad that's not like what they do in the House of Representatives or the U.S. Senate. Having said that, this is what they do. They're supposed to show up and do their job. Well, Republicans are going to vote on this Texas, voting bill, basically to shore up on, stating that, you can't do drive-in, upvoting unless you got some sort of disability where you can't get out of a car. Not just because you're fat and you can't walk a few paces to the line. That's not how it works. If you actually read the Texas bill on how they about to fortify the voting, you see, I can do the same sort of nomenclature you goddamn filthy fucking Democrats can. But having said that, the Democrats thought that it would be best to get on a private airplane, maskless, fly all the way to D.C. with their brethren, their cohorts, their comrades, and I'm capital C comrades with emphasis. So, the Republicans said we're going to vote and to arrest you. And I was skeptical, and I'm like, nah, you ain't going to do that. There's no way. And then, well, they did. They actually voted to officially arrest fleeing Democrats. And as this writer stated, that his skepticism was unwarranted, maybe, perhaps. He said early this morning, Governor Greg Abbott's threat to arrest the fleeing Texas Democrats are refusing to show up for work. Those Democrats left the state in an ill-fated attempt to deny a quorum, meaning that there's a certain amount of people have to show up for people so they can vote. And if that quorum isn't met, they don't get to vote. The Republicans do make up a large majority of the state legislature in order to stop a vote on election integrity. Case in point, the story brings up later on, the Republicans of Oregon did the same thing, and the Democrats voted to arrest them. Keep that in mind there. What's good for one political party is not good for the other. The CNN, comrades and the commissars were mad at the Oregon Republicans for abdicating their duties. But when the Texas Democrats do it, they give them kudos. Now you know where the hypocrisy comes out in full display. So when he saw those comments about Abbott, this writer wasn't sure the Republicans would actually have the guts or the balls to force the Democrats to return to do their jobs. Yet exactly that's what happened. 4 Republicans obviously didn't vote for him, but the Texas House voted 76-4 to send the Sergeant of Arms to detain and or arrest the fleeing members of the Texas legislature, who were in Washington, D.C., having a salad and a Coke Zero. The response to this is going to be predictable, of course. You can expect the media to claim this is some kind of tyranny, even though they trashed Oregon Republicans for their walkout some years ago. Yet, Texas Constitution specifically denotes this is a remedy for members of the legislature who abdicate their duties. Abdicate's a fancy word of saying not showing up. That's what happens. If this were attempted at the national level, it would be a different story and clearly illegal. Agreed. But under Texas law, this is one way the system is set up to force a quorum that these Texas Democrats don't have the right to deny. And if they stay out more than 30 days, the law gets shelved or the voting gets shelved or some weird crap like that. Meanwhile, the cringe just won't stop. And you see these poor humans right here, these pieces of human trash, these garbage liberal cocksuckers right here going, look at us, here's our selfie in front of the Capitol building, we're awesome. No, you're abdicating your duties. You're voted in to represent your state legislature, okay, in your district, and you're abdicating your duties. Go fuck yourselves, you filthy fucking Democrat pieces of human shit. Fuck you. It goes on to say, yeah, I'm sure that kind of misspelled preening from Washington, D.C. after having abandoned one's official duties is going to go over really, really well in Texas. And it may, for the political side of the aisle on the left, that they love this sort of stuff. The normies don't care. The Republicans, of course, are going to welcome this sort of activity. One of the most basic rules of life, this writer states, is not to pick a fight you can't win. These Democrats are enjoying the plaudits right now, but the praise for CNN hosts isn't going to get them much of anything back home, and they will have to come home soon enough. When they do, they can either do their jobs or be arrested and forced to. Republicans in Texas have apparently run out of care to be given about the optics of this. No, they won't overcome. Why do I say that? Because these fucking douchebags saying, "We shall overcome." Overcome what? Your job? Yeah. This goes to show you that Democrats and liberals don't like to work. They hate to work. I'm not talking about the conservative Democrats, if there are any out there left in this world. Not them. These assholes, these cocksucking motherfuckers, these human garbage bastards are in the wrong place. They need to do their job. Their job is in Texas, not in D.C. to preen and suck it up and, fawn and receive fawning adoration from the mainstream media. They are hypocrites, using filibuster to run to D.C. in order to stump for the elimination of the filibuster. Everyone sees the game being played here. Well, us on the right side of the political spectrum see it. The normies don't see it. The left, of course, will deny it. That's played here, and how ridiculous it is. And with the return to Texas, the game will be over. Well, I don't have his, I don't know. I don't really believe he actually believes that. But I do hope we come to a point to where when goddamn filthy fucking liberal cocksucking Democrats, when they've refused to do their job, I hope the normies and the sensible people on the left, if they actually fucking exist, will actually vote these pieces of human shit out of their state representatives in their districts. Hopefully they'll do that. Will they do that? Possibly not. But a man can hope one day that the normies can come around and go, wait a minute. I have to go to my job. I have to work. And if I fail to go to my job and work, I get fired. How about you people in Texas hold these motherfuckers accountable when they fail to show up to their job, do the right, sensible thing, kick them out of their job, and hire people that will actually stay in their job and actually do it as per the Texas State Constitution.